My wife missed my mom's funeral for her ex's exclusive work party. Then told me, your mom's already dead. My career's still alive. Maybe care about what actually has a future. So I kicked her out, and now she's begging me to take her back. All right, Reddit. So my wife skipped my mom's funeral to party with her ex, stole my credit card for a $3,000 dress, then destroyed my truck tires when I filed for divorce. Now she owes me $53,000 and keeps begging me to take her back while her life falls apart. I'm thriving with someone who actually shows up, grabs some popcorn because this gets wild. I, 35 male, met my wife Edna, 34 female, 5 years ago at the worst possible time. She was 29. I was 30. I was responding to a kitchen fire at some commercial building downtown Small Blaze, mostly smoke damage, but someone had left industrial ovens running unattended overnight. Amateur hour. She was standing outside when we rolled up, crying her eyes out. Not her building, but apparently she'd been renting kitchen space there for her startup bakery business. All her equipment was inside. Told her we'd do what we could. Went in, cleared the building, got the fire knocked down fast. Most of her stuff survived. Smoke damage, but nothing structural. Could have been way worse. She hugged me when I gave her the news. Asked for my number, said she wanted to send a thank you gift. We started talking. She had big dreams about building something from scratch. I respected the hustle. Starting a business is tough. Takes guts. I was making decent money. 7 years into firefighting, no real attachments. Seemed like good timing. Dated 6 months before we moved in together. Married a year after that. Her business was starting to struggle by then. Reviews weren't great, clients were scarce, but I figured it was just growing pains. New businesses take time to find their footing. I had steady income. Figured I could support us while she figured things out. That was the plan anyway. Support her dreams, build something together, maybe start a family once her business stabilized. Normal stuff. Fast forward to 3 months ago, my mother got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, 6 weeks from diagnosis to gone. Fastest, most brutal thing I've ever watched. Mom had been healthy her whole life. Then suddenly she couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't sit up without help. Edna was decent about it at first. Visited the hospital, brought food, and acted supportive. 2 weeks before Mom died, when she could barely speak, Mom gave Edna her wedding ring. 3 generations in our family. Gold band with 3 small diamonds, nothing fancy, but it meant everything. Mom had squeezed Edna's hand and told her to wear it and remember she was family now. Edna cried. Promised she would. Wore that ring on a chain around her neck because it was too small for her finger. 2 weeks later, Mom died. Funeral was scheduled for the following Saturday. Simple service, just family and close friends. Dad was handling it stoically, but I knew he was destroyed. 42 years of marriage ended in 6 weeks of watching cancer eat someone alive. I needed my wife there. Needed her beside me while we said goodbye to the woman who'd raised me. Didn't think I had to ask. Didn't think showing up to your mother-in-law's funeral required a formal invitation. Friday night, day before the funeral, everything seemed normal. Edna was quiet. Said she was tired, went to bed early. I stayed up late going through old photos of Mom. Didn't think anything of it. Saturday morning came. Got dressed early. Black suit. Called Edna around 8:30 to see when she'd be ready. No answer. Called again at 9. Nothing. 9:30, my phone buzzed. Text from Edna. Baby, I'm so sorry. Eugene's party is today and it's a huge opportunity. These people could save my business. I know the timing is bad, but I have to go. You understand, right? I'll make it up to you. Promise. I read it 3 times. Couldn't process what I was seeing. My wife was texting me that she was skipping my mother's funeral for her ex-fiance's birthday party. Called her immediately. Straight to voicemail. Texted back, the funeral is in 30 minutes. You need to be here. Her response came fast. I can't. This is too important. Eugene specifically invited me because he knows people who can invest. I'll be thinking of you. I'm sorry. Thinking of me. She'd be thinking of me while partying with her ex instead of standing beside me at my mother's funeral. I called again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. She'd turned her phone off. Sat in my car outside the funeral home, staring at her texts. Trying to convince myself this wasn't happening. That my wife hadn't just chosen a birthday party over the worst day of my life. Then I stopped lying to myself. Then my phone buzzed. Bank notification. Large purchase alert on my credit card. $3,000 at some boutique downtown. My credit card. The one Edna wasn't authorized to use. Called the bank from the parking lot. They confirmed the charge. Called the boutique. They remembered her. She'd bought a designer dress. Valentino. Black, cocktail length. Said it was for a special event. Special event. Eugene's birthday party. She'd stolen my credit card and spent $3,000 on a dress to impress her ex-fiancé the week of my mother's funeral. I started laughing. Couldn't help it. The absurdity was genuinely impressive. My wife had stolen my credit card and maxed it out on a dress for another man's party on the day of my mother's funeral. Called my buddy from the station. He picked up on the first ring. Hey man, you good? Need a favor? You still have that divorce attorney's number? Family started arriving around 9:30. Dad saw me walk in by myself. Didn't ask, just hugged me longer than usual. He knew. My sister pulled me aside. Where's Edna? Not coming. What? We'll talk about it later. The service started at 10. I sat in the front row next to Dad. Empty seat beside me. Everyone noticed. Nobody said anything. Empty seat at a funeral speaks volumes. My phone stayed off. Couldn't deal with whatever excuses she'd be sending. The service was simple. Pastor said nice things. Dad gave a eulogy without breaking down. I couldn't speak. Didn't trust myself. Just sat there staring at Mom's casket, wondering how my wife decided a birthday party was more important than this. Service ended around 11:20. Accepted condolences from family, shook hands with Dad's friends, stood by Mom's casket one last time, then walked out to the parking lot and turned my phone back on. 27 texts. Edna mostly. Some from family asking where she was. Edna's texts were masterpieces of entitlement. I know you're upset, but this is really important for us. Eugene introduced me to 3 investors already. This was the right call. You have your family there. I'm building our future. Stop ignoring me. You're being childish. That last one. That was the one that did it. I was being childish for expecting my wife at my mother's funeral. I didn't respond. Didn't go to the reception. Drove straight home instead. Edna's Mercedes wasn't in the driveway. She was still at the party. Still networking. Still prioritizing Eugene over her husband on the worst day of his life. Walked inside. Empty house. Quiet. The woman who'd promised to be there was somewhere across town, laughing at her ex's birthday party, while I dealt with my mother's death alone. I sat on the couch for maybe an hour. Just sitting. Processing. Trying to understand how we'd gotten here. How my wife had decided this was acceptable. Then I stopped trying to understand and started acting. Called my attorney first. My buddy had given me the number that morning. Guy answered on the 3rd ring. We talked for 90 minutes. He took notes, asked questions, got the full story, the funeral, the party, the stolen credit card, the texts, everything. This is pretty clear-cut. Marital misconduct, credit card theft, abandonment during a family crisis. We can file immediately. Do it. Monday morning. I'll have papers ready. In the meantime, secure your finances. Remove her access to credit cards. Document everything she says or does and prepare for retaliation. People don't take divorce filings well. Hung up. Immediately called the bank. Reported the credit card as stolen. Had them cancel Edna's authorized user status on all accounts. Changed passwords on everything. Bank accounts, investment accounts, credit cards. Locked it all down. Pulled up the credit card statement again. $3,000, saved screenshots, printed copies. My attorney would need evidence. Found her text messages on our shared tablet. She'd been messaging Eugene for weeks, planning the party, excited about seeing him. Nothing explicit, but the tone was clear. This wasn't just business networking. This was her choosing him. Documented everything. Times, dates, messages, credit card charges. Built a case while she partied. She texted around 6 p.m. Party's wrapping up. Heading home soon. Hope the funeral went okay. Hope the funeral went okay. Like it was a dentist appointment I'd mentioned in passing. I didn't respond. 8 p.m. Another text. Stopping for dinner with a few people from the party. Be home late. Don't wait up. She wasn't even coming home. Was extending her day with Eugene while I sat alone in our house the day of my mother's funeral, pulled up the business loan documents. Every penny I'd given her for the bakery was documented as business loans, promissory notes we both signed, stating repayment upon divorce or business closure. My attorney at the time insisted on it. $35,000 over 2 years, every payment recorded. My attorney was going to love this 11 p.m. text from Edna. Actually staying at Eugene's tonight. Too tired to drive safely. See you tomorrow. I didn't respond. Just sat there in the dark, knowing my marriage was over and feeling nothing but relief. Sunday morning, 10 a.m., her car pulled into the driveway. I watched from the window. She sat in the car for maybe 5 minutes, checking her makeup in the mirror, fixing her hair like she was preparing for a performance. Finally got out, walked to the door, used her key. I was standing in the living room when she came in. Hey, baby. Sorry I was gone so long. Eugene's place is just really comfortable and pack a bag. She stopped, blinked. What? Pack a bag, you're leaving. What are you talking about? I know you're upset about the funeral, but you missed my mother's funeral for your ex-boyfriend's birthday party. You stole my credit card and spent $3,000 on a dress to impress him. You stayed at his house for 2 nights while I buried my mother alone. Pack a bag. You have 20 minutes. Her face went from confused to defensive. You're overreacting. It was a business opportunity. Just stop the act. I'm not lying. Eugene has connections that could save my bakery. Your bakery is failing because you're a mediocre baker who charges premium prices for substandard products. Eugene's connections aren't going to fix that. And even if they could, choosing a party over my mother's funeral is unforgivable. Unforgivable? That's dramatic. People miss things for business all the time, not funerals. Normal people don't miss their spouse's parents' funeral for a birthday party. You're making this a bigger deal than it is? I'm treating it exactly as big as it is. So pack a bag. You're leaving. She laughed, nervous, disbelieving. You can't kick me out. This is my house too. My name's on the mortgage. My paychecks funded this place while your bakery hemorrhaged money. This is my house. You're a guest who overstayed her welcome. 19 minutes. You're being insane. 18 minutes. Keep talking and it becomes 15. She stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Finally realizing I wasn't bluffing, wasn't negotiating, was done. Where am I supposed to go? Eugene's, since you're already so comfortable there. Nothing happened with Eugene. Don't care if it did or didn't. That's enough. 17 minutes. She grabbed a duffel bag, started throwing clothes in, crying, yelling about how unfair this was, how I was overreacting, how she'd made one mistake and I was destroying our marriage over it. I sat on the bed and watched her scramble to pack while having a meltdown. This is cruel. You know I've been struggling with the business. You know how much pressure I'm under, and I've been dealing with my mother's death. Which do you think matters more? Your business struggles or my mother's funeral? That's not fair. Life's not fair. You're learning that now, 15 minutes left. The $3,000, I said. The dress. You stole my credit card and spent $3,000 on that dress. To impress Eugene. She froze. What? I checked the statement Saturday morning, while I was sitting in the funeral home parking lot. Got a fraud alert from my bank. Found the charge, called the boutique. They remembered you. Funny how you stole my credit card to buy a $3,000 dress. It was an investment in my business. No, it was theft. Stealing someone's credit card for personal expenses. That's a crime. Her face went white. You're insane. We're married. It's our money. Was our money? Now it's evidence of financial misconduct. My attorney's filing divorce papers Monday morning. Your attorney? She dropped the duffel bag. Sat down hard on the floor. You're divorcing me. Yeah, I'm divorcing you. Over missing one funeral? Do you not realize what you did? We can fix this. I'll pay back the money. With what money? Your failing bakery that loses cash every month? That hit. She flinched like I'd slapped her. I'm trying to build something. You're burning through my firefighter salary while pretending you're the next big thing. I've poured $35,000 into your business over 2 years. You kept track? You've been counting every dollar? I've been documenting business loans, written agreements, signed by you, payable upon divorce or dissolution of business. My attorneys including them in the settlement. Her face went from white to red. You planned this. You've been planning this. I've been protecting myself. Turns out that was smart. She started crying. Real tears now. But I'd spent Saturday watching my family bury my mother while my wife partied with her ex-boyfriend. Her tears didn't move me. Time's up. Get out. You can't do this. I pulled out my phone, started dialing. Who are you calling? Cops for trespassing. She grabbed her duffel bag, scrambled to her feet. You're going to regret this. Eugene treats me better than you ever did. Then you'll be very happy together. She stormed past me. I followed her downstairs, made sure she actually left. She stood by her car, crying, yelling about how I'd ruined everything, how I was cruel and cold, and she'd never forgive me. One more thing, I said. My mother's ring, the one she gave you. Edna's hand went to her neck. The chain was there, but empty. Where is it? It's mine. Your mother gave it to me. My mother gave it to you as my wife. You're not my wife anymore. Ring comes back. She wanted me to have it. She wanted her daughter-in-law to have it. You chose not to be that person when you skipped her funeral ring. Now, it's at Eugene's. I took it off to shower and left it there. You left my mother's ring at your ex-boyfriend's apartment? She realized her mistake. I'll get it back. You have 48 hours to return it, or I'm adding theft to the divorce filing. 3-generation family heirloom. Judge will love that. Her face went pale. Her face? You can't. 48 hours. Don't test me. I closed the door, locked it, changed the locks within the hour. My phone started blowing up immediately. Her friends, her family, people I barely knew, all asking what happened, sent the same response to everyone. She missed my mother's funeral for her ex-fiance's birthday party. That's the whole story. Most people went quiet after that. That night I slept better than I had in weeks. House was quiet, peaceful. No Edna stumbling in late from networking events. No drama, just silence and certainty. She texted around midnight. Please, can we talk? I blocked her number. Some conversations aren't worth having Monday morning, my attorney called. Papers are ready. I'm filing today. She'll be served by end of business. Good. One more thing. My mother's wedding ring. She's refusing to return it. Claims it was a gift. Edna got served Tuesday afternoon. She called from a blocked number. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail, screaming about how I was destroying her life, how she'd done nothing wrong, how the ring was hers, and I'd never get it back. Forwarded the voicemail to my attorney, evidence of refusal to return property. Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., my security camera caught movement. I'd installed cameras after kicking Edna out. Seemed smart, given how unstable she was acting. 4 angles covering the driveway, front door, and garage. Footage showed Edna's car pulling up. Parking down the street, lights off. She sat there for maybe 10 minutes, then got out, walked up the driveway, crouched by my truck. She pulled something from her purse. Looked like a kitchen knife, then methodically slashed each tire. Took her time, wasn't sloppy about it. Just destroyed 4 tires with cold efficiency. After finishing, she stood up, looked directly at one of the cameras, and smiled. Actually smiled. Then walked back to her car and drove off. I watched the footage 3 times. Couldn't believe the stupidity. She knew about the cameras. I'd mentioned them during one of her endless phone calls. She knew she was being recorded. Did it anyway. Called the cops around 6 a.m. when I discovered the damage officer arrived within 30 minutes. Watched the footage, whistled low when Edna's face came into clear view. That's pretty obvious. You want to press charges? Absolutely. Felony criminal damage property over $1,000. She's looking at serious charges. Good. He filed the report. Gave me a case number. Said a detective would contact me within 48 hours. Got my truck towed to a shop. 4 new tires. Alignment check. Possible rim damage. Total cost, $3,000. The universe had a sense of humor. She'd spent $3,000 on a dress for Eugene. Now she'd caused $3,000 in damage trying to hurt me. Karma kept perfect accounts. Found out later why she did it. Her attorney let it slip during a phone call with mine. Edna had gone back to Eugene's apartment to get the ring. Eugene had found it, realized its value, not monetary, but emotional, and refused to give it back. Told Edna he'd keep it as insurance in case things went south between them. Classic manipulation. She'd begged him for it. He'd laughed. So she'd destroyed my truck tires out of rage, couldn't get the ring back, couldn't control the situation, took it out on my property instead. Entitled to the end. My attorney called Edna's attorney, told him what happened. He tried claiming Edna had an alibi. My attorney mentioned the video footage. He went quiet. Called back an hour later asking to settle. Wanted to know what it would take for me to drop criminal charges. My attorney told him nothing. I was pursuing both civil and criminal remedies. Edna had committed a crime. She'd face consequences. He tried the sympathy angle. Edna was stressed, going through a hard time. Surely I could understand she wasn't in her right mind. My attorney shut that down fast. My client's mother died 3 weeks ago. His wife missed the funeral to attend her ex-fiance's party. She stole his credit card and charged $3,000 for a designer dress. She refused to return his deceased mother's wedding ring. He filed for divorce. Your client responded by committing felony vandalism on camera while smiling. This wasn't a stress response. This was calculated destruction. We're not negotiating. Edna got arrested Friday morning. Picked her up at her commercial kitchen during a consultation with a client left immediately. Business reputation officially destroyed. She was charged with felony criminal damage. Released 6 hours later. Arraignment scheduled for the following week. My attorney filed for a restraining order. Judge granted it based on the vandalism. Edna couldn't come within 500 feet of me or my property. Violating it meant immediate jail time. Her attorney called in a panic. They needed to negotiate. This was destroying Edna's life. She couldn't afford a criminal defense attorney. The restraining order was preventing her from running her business because her kitchen was near the station where I worked. My attorney's response was perfect. Tell your client she destroyed her own life when she missed her mother-in-law's funeral for her ex-fiance's party. Everything since has been her actively making it worse. My client isn't interested in negotiating. She committed a crime. She'll face the consequences. But I wasn't interested in sending her to jail. That would be too easy. She'd serve time, get out, and claim victim status forever. I wanted something better. 2 weeks later, her attorney came back with a proposal Edna would plead guilty to misdemeanor criminal damage in exchange for the felony being dropped. But instead of jail time, she'd agreed to full restitution for all damages. $3,000 for the tires, $3,000 for the stolen credit card dress, plus court costs and attorney fees. She'd immediately return my mother's ring, or pay its appraised value of $8,000 if Eugene refused to give it back. The whole thing would be structured as wage garnishment at 20% of her gross income until paid in full, plus 1-year probation with mandatory anger management classes and 100 hours of community service. Best part? If she missed a single payment or violated probation even once, the felony charge would be reinstated and she'd go straight to jail. The deal wasn't mercy. It was a leash that would follow her for years. Total debt, approximately $18,000, paid through wage garnishment over years. Edna took the deal. Had no choice. Public defender told her it was this or risk 3 years in prison. She agreed to everything. Signed the restitution agreement. The wage garnishment started immediately. 20% of whatever she earned went straight to me until the debt was paid. Eugene never returned the ring. Edna had to pay the appraised value, $8,000, on top of everything else. Turned out Eugene had pawned it when Edna moved in with him, used the money for his own expenses. That detail came out during her attorney's final attempt to reduce the restitution. Mr. Eugene pawned the ring without permission. My client shouldn't be responsible for his theft. My attorney's response: your client gave a 3-generation family heirloom to her affair partner and lost it through her own negligence. She's absolutely responsible. Judge agreed. Full restitution ordered. Her attorney sent over a revised divorce settlement immediately after she agreed to everything. Full reimbursement for business investments through the existing signed loan agreements. Another $35,000 on top of the criminal restitution split assets. Relinquished all claims to the house, my truck, everything. We finalized the divorce 6 weeks after she was served. Simple hearing, judge approved everything, signed the papers. Edna didn't show up. Her attorney appeared on her behalf, submitted signatures, left. Whole thing took 15 minutes. Walked out of that courthouse legally single, felt like breathing for the first time in months. Edna was now legally obligated to pay me approximately $53,000, total $18,000 from criminal restitution, $35,000 from business loans. All structured as wage garnishment and payment plans that would follow her for years. She'd destroyed my truck tires in a moment of rage. Now she'd be paying for it, literally, for half a decade. Perfect. Life improved fast after the divorce. Moved on like Edna had never existed. Work became everything. Picked up extra shifts, volunteered for the tough calls, focused on being excellent instead of dealing with someone else's drama. Captain noticed. 6 months post-divorce, offered me lead position on Engine 7. More responsibility, better pay, chance to shape up younger guys. Took it immediately. Started seeing someone new around the 8-month mark. Met Kelly at a charity event the department hosted. ER nurse, smart, funny, had her life together. We'd been dating 4 months. No drama, no games, no wondering if she'd bail when things got tough. She showed up consistently. Revolutionary concept. Physical fitness improved too. Joined a martial arts gym. Started running every morning. Ate like someone who cared about longevity, lost weight. Gained muscle. Felt better at 36 than I had at 30. Funny how divorce can be the best thing for your health. Meanwhile, Edna's life was circling the drain in slow motion. Heard about it through mutual friends who couldn't help updating me. Her commercial kitchen rental came due. She couldn't pay. Business funding had been coming from my paychecks. That tap was shut off now. Plus, 20% of her income was going straight to me through wage garnishment. She tried finding investors. Nobody wanted a bakery with terrible reviews and an owner with a criminal record and massive debt. Banks wouldn't touch her. Her rich daddy apparently told her she was on her own. Something about teaching responsibility. Little late for that lesson. She lost the kitchen space. Had to sell equipment at massive losses. Posted desperately on Facebook Marketplace. Industrial mixer, display cases, decorating supplies. Everything at fire sale prices. The business died 6 months post-divorce. She posted an announcement on Instagram. Very professional, very dignified. After careful consideration, I've decided to close Sweet Edna's Bakery to pursue other opportunities. A translation. Ran out of money and options. The comments were brutal. Former clients asking about refunds. People posting about dry cakes and unprofessional service. Someone linked her Yelp page. Someone else mentioned the criminal record. She deleted it within hours, but screenshots live forever. Then Eugene's life imploded too. But it wasn't bad luck. It was a pattern finally catching up with him, found out through one of my buddies. His wife's friend had been seeing Eugene professionally. Apparently, Eugene wasn't just a mediocre psychiatrist, he was a reckless one. State Medical Board had opened an investigation. Multiple complaints about inappropriate relationships, boundary violations, prescribing medications without proper evaluation. The complaints went back 3 years, long before Edna entered his life. My buddy showed me the public records, 6 formal complaints total. 3 filed before Edna reconnected with him, 3 filed after. First complaint, patient claimed Eugene pursued a romantic relationship during treatment, violated every ethical boundary in the book. Second complaint, Eugene disclosed confidential patient information to impress a woman at a party professional suicide. Then Edna came back into his life. The complaints got worse. He prescribed controlled substances to a patient he was sleeping with. Medical board investigations moved slowly but thoroughly. Each complaint triggered reviews, interviews, documentation requests. I checked their public database. Eugene's status: active, under investigation. The pattern was obvious once you looked. Eugene wasn't unlucky. He was reckless. Boundary violations weren't accidents. They were his operating procedure. He'd been doing this for years, skating by on charm and connections. Edna had just been another woman who fell for it. But Edna accelerated his downfall. When she moved in with him, she became aware of his patterns, saw texts from patients, overheard inappropriate calls, witnessed him bragging about manipulating vulnerable people. And Edna, for all her faults, was vindictive when scorned. Edna had contacted the medical board, provided additional details about Eugene's conduct, screenshots of texts, photos of expensive gifts, details about his prescribing habits. She hadn't filed a formal complaint. She'd just shared concerns with the board, gave them enough ammunition to build their case. Eugene's license got suspended 8 months post-divorce, published in the Medical Society's quarterly disciplinary actions, prohibited from practicing pending completion of the board's investigation. Practice shut down. Patients reassigned. The guy had pawned my mother's wedding ring to pay rent. Now he was facing felony charges and financial ruin. His recklessness had finally caught up. Edna had moved in with Eugene right when her business collapsed. Made sense. Couldn't afford her own place. Daddy cut her off. Eugene had money and an apartment. Then Eugene lost his income. They had to downgrade. Smaller place, worse neighborhood. Her Mercedes got repossessed. Saw her driving a beat-up Toyota Camry around town. The entitlement finally met reality. Reality won. 14 months post-divorce, Edna tried crawling back. Not subtly. With the kind of desperate, humiliating attempt at reconciliation that would have been funny if it wasn't so pathetic. Started with gifts at the station. Showed up during my shift. Reception called back. Package for me. Opened it. Baked goods. Cookies, brownies, some kind of cake note attached. Made these myself. Thought you'd appreciate them. Miss you. Tried one cookie. Still dry. Still terrible. 14 months later and she'd learned nothing about baking. Threw the rest in the break room. Firefighters will eat anything. Week later, she showed up at the station during dinner shift. Just walked in while we were eating. Looked better than last time I'd seen her. Hair done, makeup on, wearing actual clothes. But something desperate in her eyes. Something hollow. We need to talk. My whole crew went silent. No, we don't. Please, just 5 minutes. Restraining order expired, but you're still not welcome here. I made a mistake. You made several mistakes. I moved on. You should too. Please. I know I messed up, but we were good together. We could be good again. Just leave. I was confused. Eugene manipulated me. You made every choice that ended our marriage. Own it. She started crying. Real tears, mascara running. The whole crew was watching now. I've lost everything. My business, my home, my father's respect. Eugene turned out to be exactly what you said. I have nothing left. And you think that means I'll take you back? I think you're a good person. I'm a person who understands consequences. You made choices. Now you live with them. Captain stood. Ma'am, you need to leave. This is a workplace. She ignored him, kept staring at me. What if I told you I could change? That I've been working on myself? I'd say that's great. Do it for yourself. Don't expect me to care. She pulled an envelope from her purse. I wrote you a letter. Everything I should have said. Please just read it. No. Please. Get out. Move on. I have. Then she did something that would have been funny, if it wasn't so sad. She got on her knees, actually knelt in the middle of the fire station and begged, "Please, I'm asking you, please, I have nothing. Eugene won't marry me. My father won't help me. I can't afford my own place. I'm working retail making nothing while paying you every month. I need you. Please." The room was dead silent. Captain looked angry. I felt nothing. "Get up. Not until you agree to talk. Get up or I'm calling the cops." She stayed kneeling. I pulled out my phone. Started dialing. She scrambled to her feet. "You're cruel. You're actually cruel. We ended. Accept it." She wiped her face. Tried composing herself. Failed. "Fine. But don't expect me to care when you're alone and realize what you gave up. I gave up nothing. You threw away everything." She dropped the envelope on the floor. I threw it in the trash without opening it. But she didn't stop there. 6 months later, Edna tried again. Different strategy this time. More calculated. She'd apparently paid off about 30% of her debt. Wage garnishment was still taking 20% of her paycheck, but she was making progress. Thought that earned her another shot. Showed up at my new house. I still don't know how she found the address. Kelly and I had just moved in together Sunday morning, making breakfast. Doorbell rang. Kelly answered. "Can I help you?" "I'm Edna, his ex-wife. Is he home?" Kelly's face went cold. She knew the whole story. "He doesn't want to talk to you. I just need 5 minutes." I came to the door. "Leave. Please, I've been paying everything every month. I've been honoring the agreement. Because you legally have to. That doesn't earn you anything. I know, but I wanted you to see that I'm trying, that I'm taking responsibility. You're taking responsibility because a judge ordered you to. That's not growth. That's compliance. I've changed. I'm different now." "Great. Be different somewhere else." Kelly stepped forward. "He's asked you to leave. That's the end of this conversation." Edna looked at Kelly. Something ugly crossed her face. "You don't know him like I do. You don't know what we had." "I know what you did," Kelly said. "I know you missed his mother's funeral for another man's party. I know you destroyed his property. I know you're making payments because you committed crimes. That's all I need to know." Edna's face went red. "You think you're better than me?" "I showed up," Kelly said. "That automatically makes me better than you." That broke Edna. She started yelling about how Kelly was a replacement, how I'd never love anyone like I loved Edna, how Kelly would never understand what we'd had. I called the cops. They arrived within 10 minutes, explained the situation. Edna was trespassing. They asked her to leave. She refused. They warned her about arrest. She finally left, still yelling about betrayal and moving on too fast. Filed a report. Got documentation. If she came back, she'd be arrested immediately. Kelly closed the door. Looked at me. "That's really her. That's really her. She's exactly as terrible as you described. Yeah, some people never change." We went back to making breakfast. Didn't discuss it further. Edna had taken up enough space in my life. Wasn't giving her any more. She tried calling from different numbers over the next few weeks. Blocked everyone. Sent letters. Threw them away unopened. Showed up at the station one more time. Captain had her escorted off property and told her she'd be charged with trespassing if she returned. Finally, she stopped. Ran out of dignity or energy or hope. Just stopped trying. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.